I first got out of the hospital and was medically retired in 2007. When the military let me go, I went home and was kind of lost, but I was still finding my way and trying to understand my new normal. It was for a good year or 2 years, I was struggling to just leave my house, both because of the anxiety of not putting myself in situations that I couldn't use my physical abilities, but also because of the social anxiety and the stigmatism, the mental issues.
I've been an athlete my entire life, competitive sports. Now suddenly I have to re-identify, well, how am I going to do the things I once did before? Lots of highs and lots of lows, depression and anxiety, and how am I going to live a life injured with a hand that doesn't work, and then how do I live a life now without a hand?
When you first came back from Vietnam, you were called a baby killer, a drug addict. You were spit upon. You know, you weren't appreciated for the service person that you were. The PTSD still stays with you, but there are coping mechanisms that you have with PTSD, and one of them is the dog.
So it wasn't until I met another wounded veteran who had a service dog, and it was in meeting this guy, and it was actually his dog that was able to kind of crack that hard shell that I had put around myself, that protective barrier, and I was able to start really the road to recovery mentally as well as physically.
Canine Companions for Independence is a nonprofit organization that enhances the lives of people with disabilities by providing highly trained assistance dogs and ongoing support to ensure quality partnerships. Hiring America visited the Miller Family Campus in Long Island, New York, and met veterans whose lives have been dramatically changed by the impact of a four-legged friend.
Canine Companions for Independence was established in 1975. With the idea that dogs were being taught for many years to guide the blind, but maybe they could be of assistance to people with other types of disabilities.
Dogs help people emotionally because they are emotional creatures themselves, and that's kind of the part that we don't really train. It's just what they do naturally by being dogs.
They're very, very genuine. And so they break past all of those fears and barriers that we may have in dealing with people with disabilities. They're all about love.
This is Taco. He's 6 months old. He's in training to be a service dog, hopefully. He's with me until May of 2017. And during that time, we do a lot of training, which includes awareness, and having him exposed to a lot of social events.
My dog goes to church. In fact, I'm a lector in my church, and my pastor has me bring the dog up on the altar when I read. I try to give her something to do every day, even if it's just going to the local card store. So she'll be relaxed and she'll know how to behave in public.
Canine Companions made a lot of placements with veterans over the years. And what we found is they really serve a dual purpose. Certainly, if someone has a physical disability, the dogs are trained to mitigate that by helping them, whether it's hold a door open or pick something up that they've dropped or whatever that may be. But the sense of confidence that a person will get just from having a dog with them, whether it gives them more space around them physically in a crowded public environment, or just the courage to go out because they're not alone, someone's got their back.
Jason, get. That's my boy. Come on, get. That's my boy. That's my boy, JJ. For somebody that lost the use of his hands and ability to bend over and pick up an item, that is a task that may look very simple, but it's very important to me. Should I drop my keys in the wintertime next to my van? Should I drop the keys by my apartment door, which is inaccessible? This dog will get it for me.
Jillian will help me continue my mission to get wounded servicemen and women back to an active lifestyle and make sure no soldier is forgotten.
2009, I was introduced to Canine Companions for Independence through a foundation that I was racing endurance races for, and made the decision that a service dog may be a way to increase the rate of me living at a more active lifestyle.
He's a big stress reliever, especially when he does a lap and he kisses. Jason, lap. Don't lap. Good boy. That is companionship. That is love. And that is a stress reliever.
After I've gone through basic training in the military, sniper school, some of the most challenging schools the Department of Defense has to offer, when I got to CCI, I had to do 2 weeks of team training. Probably the toughest school I've ever been to. Learning all the commands, you know, the do's and the don'ts, how to use the dog the most effective way to help you with those everyday life skills. Very challenging 2 weeks. I was lucky to have Jillian, the smartest dog in the room. She made it easy for me.
Team training is very transformational for people. There's a lot that goes on, and people come in, you know, the first few days, and they're very, very nervous, very green. They don't, you know, really know what they're doing necessarily.
When I come here for each one of those team trainings, and I see the children that have paired with a dog, and you see the transformation that a child with a disability has from dependence to independence, that is phenomenal.
At the end of those 2 weeks, we see a totally different person. Not to say that that's 2 weeks is enough time to learn everything, but they've definitely come a long way, and it's really cool to see how that bond between them and their dog is beginning to form.
Coming up,
Having a service dog is going to help me be able to be the best version of myself and allow me to do more good in the world.
Graduations are one of my favorite parts of what I do. As an instructor, I'm able to sort of see the whole process. I'm able to see, you know, the puppies coming in when they're just little babies at 8 weeks, and then I see them, you know, once they come back to us, they've had that 1.5 years with their puppy raisers. I get to know them through training, and then I get to see who they end up being matched with. Kind of makes it all worth it.
Without my first dog, Jensen, I wouldn't have the confidence to be up here with you today. Without my second dog, Torres, I wouldn't have gotten through my crazy adolescent years. And without Trucker, adult life just wouldn't be as great. And I want to thank you, Pam, so much, my puppy raiser, from the bottom of my heart and your family. Trucker, there's just no other way to describe it, son. I love you so much already.
At the end of the day, if your dog graduates, handing over the leash to the graduate is nothing you can describe in words. It's the most amazing feeling in the world.
Graduation day, that's, you know, that's like having a birthday. That's like having Christmas all over again, you know what I'm saying? You actually get to take the dog home. And then you start living a life together.
I always knew that Lombard was a very special dog. And when I got the call that he was graduating and that he was paired with a veteran, I cried. I don't cry that easily. But this guy is a veteran of Iraq and Afghanistan. He has multiple challenges. He has a wonderful wife and 3 little kids. And not only does the dog make a difference in his life, but he's made it easier for his wife and for his kids. She doesn't have to go pick up things when he drops things. The dog is there, and the dog never leaves his side.
First time I cried is when Agatha died. I've seen so much death in Vietnam that I thought I was the coldest human being because I couldn't mourn at my parents' passing. I felt uncomfortable when friends had passed because I just couldn't cry. Agatha brought my humanity back to me.
When they called me, they confirmed the placement Tuesday, and over the phone they said it was going to a 32-year-old male vet. I was thrilled. I work with veterans. I'm a mental health counselor. I'm a crisis counselor. And we had a lot to talk about because he's going to use the dog too for a support group with wounded veterans. Even though I cry, it's bittersweet. I love my dog and I'll give him up. But this is what makes me want to raise more Canine Companion for independent puppies. Yes, I love you. I love you and I'm proud of you. Yes, look at those eyes. Look at those eyes.
People have spent a year and a half raising puppies, and it's an amazing thing that they do that and then hand the dog over to someone else. But what they're doing is they're providing a gift to someone that's allowing that person to enhance their independence, go on in the world and do things that they would typically have to rely on other people to do.
I don't remember like the music playing. I don't really remember being up there. But I swear to you, I remember being in my seat, and then the next room, I remember looking down and I'm on stage and I have Ojai in front of me and he's licking my hand, and I just felt totally at peace. I felt great. I just remember smiling and being happy and then just walking off stage. So like, it was just a huge just jump cut from one spot to the other, and I've been smiling ever since I've had him. I haven't like let go of the leash since I've had him on stage.
You weren't nervous, were you? You were a soldier, come on.
Yeah, not nervous, just caught up in the emotion, and you know, it's a lot, and you know.
It is when you get your first dog. I think it's big.
I do feel very prepared moving forward, and at the same time, it's not saying, okay, 2 weeks is up, good luck, we'll see you when we see you. There is a sense of, you know, we built a relationship, we built a family, which is a great feeling for me. I don't feel like I'm in over my head because I know that, you know, just give it some time and somebody's gonna be knocking on my door, calling my phone to say, hey, what's going on? You know, what's happening? So, you know, it's great. It's a really good feeling. Could I live day to day without a service dog? Yes, I could. And I knew that, yes, having a service dog would ease my life. It would make my life easier. It would make things easier for me. So in the end, the decision to actually, the final push to get a service dog was actually that friend that had initially cracked that hard shell. He knows how to play me real well. He told me, he said, well, you know, you love helping other people, and you know, you love doing the support groups and doing the mentoring, and he said, well, you know, it was me and my dog that by chance met you and was able to get you to a good place. Well, maybe one day you having a service dog is gonna be that same situation for someone else. So it's not even just about you and your own life, but maybe having a dog might improve someone else's life someday. And so once he put it in those terms, I realized, wow, maybe I need to put my own pride aside and say, yes, you know, of course he's gonna help my life and he's gonna make things easier for me. I suffer from really bad back and arms, and I struggle picking up items. So can I do it? Yes. Will him doing it make my life way easier? Absolutely. But the idea that, you know, when I do my support groups, he'll be there by my side, giving me support, but also giving the group support, and maybe helping someone else open up and find that place where they can feel comfortable, then for me, it's all worth it.